Previously on the Star Bazaar. There's been a lot of rumor and speculation going around the last week or so that the Republic Commandos will be announced at Gamescom, but I'm here to tell you today that that is not the case. So it's not Clone Commandos.
Wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have a community transmission today for Battlefront 2, and this one is a doozy. Let's check it out. It's kind of cool because it's not about a specific update, but rather a look ahead at what's coming for the rest of 2019. And it's starting with this month in August. We've got some really cool changes coming to Capital Supremacy, a look ahead at some new reinforcements coming to Battlefront 2, and new offline ways to play. Let's just take it from the top. The first item in August is the Venator and Dreadnought capital ships from Capital Supremacy coming to the Heroes vs. Villains game mode. It says here, August kicks off with both the Separatist Dreadnought and Republic Venator becoming playable in HVV. We've taken areas within both capital ships and turned them into playable locations that we believe will be great for the small-scale hero gameplay. That's really cool to hear. I've been really pushing for the Venator and Dreadnought to come to HVV because they're fantastic maps in their own rights. Besides the capital ships coming to HVV, the interiors of the ships themselves are also going through some changes in Capital Supremacy. The capital ship phase will still have two sub-phases, but they will be a little bit different from what they were before. It says here, once you've breached the enemy capital ship, you have 5 minutes to destroy it before the action returns to the ground. In order to destroy the ship, you must first capture one of two available command posts located on the ship, and if you succeed in that, your team will gain an additional 5 minutes and be able to fire on the enemy target. By enemy targets, I think it means the critical systems in the ship that you have to destroy to win the game. So basically, what's changing is that you don't have to activate a control panel to open up the way to the rest of the ship. All you have to do is capture one of two command posts, and once those command posts are captured, you can then progress to the critical systems. The systems themselves are also changing from an objective that you have to place a bomb on to something that you have to physically destroy, like the last phase of Crate in Galactic Assault. Your team will have to actually shoot the critical systems to take them out. And it says here, any damage caused to the enemy target or the enemy systems will be persistent, meaning even if you fail in destroying the target fully, you can pick up right where you left off in subsequent assault attempts. So any damage that the critical systems take will be permanent. And yes, the capital ship phase will now be based on a timer. That means the attacking team will now have a 5-minute window to destroy the critical systems. Once that time runs out, the battle will return to the planetary phase. So it's no longer based on just reinforcements. You still have reinforcement counts, but you also have to keep the timer in mind. So while the capital ships in Capital Supremacy are definitely seeing some changes, there's also going to be some spawning changes being implemented during the ground phase. A new spawning system called contextual spawning is being implemented in the August update, and it has to do with spawning on the command posts in Capital Supremacy, which is a feature that a lot of players have been asking for. It says here, once you have been defeated in battle, you will be presented the squad spawn menu as normal. Alongside your squad members though, you will now be presented with a list of command posts to spawn onto as well. You will have the ability to spawn onto any command post that your team has currently captured, even if it's being contested. The rules for spawning on a command post go like this. You can spawn on any CP that your team is in full control over, and if you do so, you will spawn close to that command post at one of the preset spawn locations. You can also spawn on a CP that your team controls but is being contested by the enemy. However, if you do so, you will spawn a little bit further away from the command post at one of the preset spawn locations. The only time you will not be able to spawn on a command post is if it's under the enemy team's control, even if your team is contesting it, and you will not be able to spawn on neutral command posts, those that have not yet been captured by either side. The team is really giving a lot of attention to Capital Supremacy, which is cool. They're definitely trying to make it the big mode of Battlefront 2. Moving on from Capital Supremacy, we have news of some new appearances coming for the droids of the Separatist army, specifically skins for the B-1 battle droids. The clone troopers have been getting a lot of appearances lately, so I think it's about time that the droids get some of their own. In August, we're to expect the pilot appearance for the droids, the jungle appearance, as well as the training appearance. All three of these looks will be available for the 4 base classes for the Separatists, and the default and Geonosis-based appearances will also be available as free unlocks. That's very cool. We're finally getting some customization for the droids. It's about time. These Capital Supremacy changes and droid skins are scheduled to drop with the August 28th update, and even though that's all the information for August that we have in this CT, There will be another CT containing the full release notes next week. We will have a video on that once that drops, so be sure you're subscribed to the channel and you're getting notified so that you know when that releases. Let's check out September now though, because this is where the really good stuff is. There's a new large-scale map, 2 new ways to play Battlefront 2, a new reinforcement, and a community challenge for one of the most requested appearances ever in Battlefront 2. First up, it is confirmed that the new planet Felucia will be dropping in September. The 5th Clone Wars map coming to Battlefront 2 will be available for Capital Supremacy and for the 2 new PvE experiences dropping alongside it. Those 2 new experiences are specifically called Co-op and Instant Action. In Co-op, you will team up with 3 other players and take your squad for a large-scale PvE adventure. These will be Clone Wars experiences, so you'll be able to choose to play as either the Galactic Republic or the Separatist Alliance and partake in massive battles on all 5 Clone Wars planets. Depending on the faction that you've selected, the experience on each planet will be different. For example, the droid army will be invading the planet of Naboo, meaning they'll be on the offensive, but if the battle moves to Geonosis, they will then defend the planet. If you decide to play as the clones instead, the roles will just be reversed for each planet. In co-op mode, all troopers, reinforcements, vehicles, heroes, and villains will be available to play. However, and this is the really cool part, the same is true for the AI, as the new AI system introduced in Capital Supremacy has been expanded upon to also feature vehicles, heroes, and villains in co-op. AI heroes and villains is something that the community has been heavily requesting for many months now, and it's finally coming to Battlefront 2. That is really cool. The second PvE experience is Instant Action, and if you played the classic Battlefront 2, that name will sound very familiar. It says here, in this mode, both teams are fighting over 5 command posts, similar to Capital Supremacy, and the goal is to hold a majority of them until your team's score reaches 100% to win the game. This is going to be a single-player experience, meaning it's not co-op, you will not be teaming up with other people, it will just be you with a team of AI fighting another team made entirely of AI, and that AI team will be made up of regular troopers, reinforcements, heroes, and vehicles. You can also spawn on the command posts using the contextual spawn system, and probably the best feature of all is the fact that this mode can be played offline without the need for an internet connection. Solo players matter, and this is going to be huge for the offline community because up until now, all they've had to play is arcade, which is a pretty lackluster experience in my opinion. I play multiplayer most of the time, but best believe that I will be enjoying some instant action once this drops. At release, players will have access to all the maps that are currently available within Capital Supremacy, and that includes Felucia, so we'll be able to play on all 5 Clone Wars maps. Hopefully one day this will expand to have the other eras as well. Drop a comment below and let me know if you'll be trying out instant action or co-op once it drops in September. Now, moving on to the next piece of information, we have a new reinforcement dropping in September as well, the Clone Commando. Yes, I was wrong in my last video. I put out a news update the other day talking about how Clone Commandos would not be announced at Gamescom, but here they are. On a technical level, the Clone Commandos probably were still not the second part of the prophecy that our community manager Ben Walk was talking about. In my opinion, I think that was probably instant action, because otherwise Ben Walk straight up lied to us in his tweet talking about Clone Commandos not fulfilling the prophecy. Or he was just trying to get gullible content creators like me to make a video on it so he could point and laugh later. Either way, Clone Commandos are coming to Battlefront 2 in September. They will have a DC-17M repeating blaster rifle for a primary weapon and 3 abilities. The left ability is called Anti-Armor Attachment, which reconfigures the DC-17M into a grenade launcher that fires up to 3 small grenades, with high efficiency against vehicles and shields. This just sounds like an updated version of the Heavy's Barrage. The right ability is called Repulsor Blast, which discharges a short-range shockwave that temporarily disorients enemies and knocks them back. Almost sounds like a weakened version of Luke's Repulse or Anakin's Heroic Might. The middle ability is called Battle Focus, which activates a damage protection aura for the Commando and nearby allies. Additionally, any damage the Commando deals to enemies replenishes his base health, which sounds very powerful. Makes me wonder how much health he has by default. Drop a comment below, guys, and let me know how you feel about the Clone Commandos finally coming to Battlefront 2. I know there was some disappointment after the quote-unquote news that they weren't coming, so this is really cool to hear. After the Commandos, the CT goes over a new appearance challenge that we're getting in September. It says here, During September, we're releasing a community challenge that grants you the ability to unlock a highly requested appearance. More details will follow closer to the challenge, but we have a sneaking suspicion that fans of Luke Skywalker and Star Wars A New Hope will enjoy this one. Pretty safe to say that Farm Boy Luke will be available as an unlock for the challenge coming in September. That is so exciting. We have desperately needed Luke Skywalker skins since day one, and it sounds like they're finally delivering. That's the end of the September section. We already went over August. Now let's look at what's coming even further ahead in 2019. It says here, as we move through the remainder of the year, we will have new reinforcements, appearances, and a brand new front menu system which allows you to play the era of your choosing. I don't know about you guys, but that has me really hyped because era selection has been something that I've really wanted in Battlefront 2. This sounds like era-specific playlists. If you only want to play the prequel era during your play session, you can choose all the prequel maps, or if you want to play the sequel era only, you can play all of those maps instead. Continuing on, it says here, we will also be working toward the release of content inspired by Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. While we don't want to go into exact specifics, no spoilers, we can confirm that we will be building a new planet and some new reinforcements based on the conclusion to the galaxy-spanning Skywalker saga. That is so cool. Felucia is officially not the last planet coming to Battlefront 2. There will be another one inspired by Episode 9, as well as new reinforcements, and I think a lot of us are thinking that will probably be the Sith troopers that we've seen in the promotional material so far. No mention of heroes like Poe Dameron or General Hux, but that's okay. I think a new map and new reinforcements is plenty of content to keep us happy during that cycle. We don't even have all the information on Episode 9 just yet, so it's all going to be a surprise regardless. I'm excited. The team ends the community transmission with an image of the updated 2019 roadmap, which I'll have on the screen now, and it says here, we'll be back with more details on each of the above as we get closer to their release. The next few months are an exciting time for the game, and we're incredibly grateful that you've chosen to come on this journey with us. We can't wait to experience more of Star Wars Battlefront 2 with you. I'm hoping that bit of gratitude from the team is not a hint that we're approaching the end of support for Battlefront 2. I'm really hoping they continue into 2020. That would be really nice if you ask me. But regardless, it sounds like the rest of 2019 is going to be full of new content, and I, for one, cannot wait. This was a really long video, guys. I really appreciate everybody who has stuck with me this far. Drop a comment below and let me know your favorite part from this community transmission. There is a lot to get excited about. Capital Supremacy changes, a new Luke skin coming up soon, clone commandos, a new planet after Felucia. It's all super cool. Drop a comment, let me know what you're most hyped for, and that's going to do it from me. I appreciate you all stopping by the bazaar. Give the video a thumbs up, drop a comment below, and subscribe if you're new if you haven't already, and I will see you all out on the battlefront. Peace.